welcome to yet another interesting ride on your lunchtime television show. This is Real Talk with Kike, and I remain Kike Atanda-owo. That doesn't change. And of course, I've got my opinionated, like I always emphasize to people listening to us. So the exciting co-host. How you doing, Marshall? Marshall bearing the flag, the flag bearer.
Real Talk with Kike. Real Talk with Kike.
I'm loving you right now.
Yes. Welcome to Real Talk with Kike, the show where conversations are real. I'm hanging out with the host of the show, Kike Atanda-owo. And Tammy, it's been years since I saw you.
We have greeted Happy New Year this year. Please, I'm on zebra crossing. I'm looking like Tom today so that I can relieve you people of your stress.
You're looking sweet.
We need stress reliever in this country. I'm here for you. Damlola Banira is my name. How are we doing? I know that it could be chaotic, it could be stressful, but we need to keep hanging there.
All right, so guys, we've got our usual segment on the show today. Today in history, the discussions and the main discussion, and of course the trending segment. Trust me, you don't want to miss any part of this. And guess what, guys? We have a guest that will definitely make today what is, you know. But before then, let's take a quick look at today in history segment, and so I don't get the cat out of the bag. Please stay with us.
On this day in history, in 2010, precisely on the 6th of May, 2010, Goodluck Jonathan, 52 years, was sworn in as President of Nigeria, hours after the death of incumbent Umaru Yar'Adua, who was 58 years at the time, in accordance with the order of succession in the Nigerian Constitution following President Umaru Yar'Adua's death on the 5th of May, 2010. Vice President Goodluck Jonathan was sworn in as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the 6th of May 2010, becoming Nigeria's 14th head of state. He cited anti-corruption, power, and electoral reforms as focuses of his administration. He stated that he came to office under very sad and unusual circumstances.
Right, welcome back. Masha, let me start with you. On this day in history, what's your submission on Jonathan's administration?
We've been on Jonathan's administration for a while on this day in history, and what can be said other than what has already been said? How peaceful this man was, how he was really good luck. You know, he lived by his name, and how he has also been an epitome of political emulation, somebody to emulate when it comes to peace. You know, we saw what he did in transiting power to President Muhammadu Buhari. And today, he's a testament with what's currently obtainable in the current administration. There is always that comparison we make.
Definitely. Well, I think that it was the first of its kind in Nigeria, having to swear in a vice president, of course, immediately after the demise of the president. But we had this, we didn't like Goodluck. He was not a good president. I think we like where we did now. I mean, that's it. But I mean, altogether, he did his best. He tried what he could do.
Luck was upon him.
Everybody would say, if I was there, I could have done it better. Okay, when you are there, show us what you will do. That's it.
Kike, what do you think about today in history?
You know, when it comes to Jonathan is someone that I think I've admired. His transitioning, most importantly, to Buhari. And of course, do I believe that luck shined upon him? Yes. Again, I'm sorry to say this. I know that this is something that we try to, you know, bring some level of sentiment and bring religious into it. If
somebody did not spoil, somebody will not be good. Let me translate it for you so we understand.
If Yar'Adua had not passed, blessed memory, because continue to allow him rest in peace, but at least Jonathan came into power. He tried his best. Our country was not this bad at the time. Yes, I'm saying this. Our country was not this worse. We're never in a position where we are now bargaining with banditry. You know what? Before I keep saying too much, it's best that we get a word from our sponsors. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. When you mention Sucre Papito, you can only refer to one person. Is an actor, talent recruiter, all-around entertainer. We have another entertainer in the building with me here, and I'm glad that she's on set. But you know what? It's all about Seyi Awolowo, and he will be joining us in a short while. Yeah, I'm told that he's caught in the traffic right now. But before we let him come, I think it's important for us to just take a quick look at his profile and go into other segments of the show. Please stay with us. All right, many thanks for staying with us. We're still trying to connect to our guest. If our guest doesn't get here in the next few minutes, of course, we might have to connect to him via Zoom. But before then, I think it's important for us to discuss what affects us all collectively. And that is part of the trending topics that we should take at the moment. You know, there's a story that caught our attention. Gloria Agoze, a former hotel employee, I think at Signature Hotel and Suites in Abuja, to be precise. I hope I'm correct. And his boss, Mr. Kenneth Gbagi, he is the former Minister of Education, over alleged human rights violation. Together with a colleague, Victor, she was accused of stealing and was stripped naked with when she was 3 months pregnant last year. But after giving birth to the baby, she decided to come out with her baby and just pursue the matter. You know, Marshall, Damilola, this is something that we've all deliberated upon, especially in our WhatsApp group, and of course we've also seen it on other social media platforms. You know, what's your take on it, Marshall?
Well, it was horrendous. It was horrible. When I saw her interview, and she went on narrating how she was stripped naked, the allegations were leveled against her, and she tried to prove her innocence. And to think that a man of that caliber, who is expected at some time, who was at some time believed to be representing the interest of the people, could met out such treatment on a lady who was pregnant, even if she wasn't pregnant, a human being for that, for no concrete cause or reason. Because he alleged that the guest, she stole, based on the fact that the guest had done transfer and all of that. I felt the simple thing to have done would have been to reach out to the guest, you know, so the guest can tell his own side of things. So we've seen a lot of this. People who are, like Kike rightly used the word, corridors of power, who are on the corridors of power and feel that they're untouchable. I feel it's high time the weight of the law, full weight of the law, comes upon them. It's horrendous, if you ask me. Damilola.
We like speaking English in this country. That's the truth. Because if you were not interested in looking at naked body, why strip a woman naked? You cannot strip a man like that. As in, oh, you don't understand.
So apparently a guy was, but he was left with his pants on.
Why did you have to even strip anybody? My people will say, is removing the head the solution to headache? There must have been, there should have been a template for that. Okay, Mr. A, you made a transfer to this account and she didn't get it, like you rightly said. Let's go back to the root and find out what happened. Why did you have to dehumanize her? Then you're saying the people in the corridors of power. Yes, the way power is sweet and intoxicating, we have not done too well, especially with choosing our kind of leaders. We need to look at their empathy level. We need to even look at how human they are. Some people do these things to their own domestic staffs. They do it to their wives, and they feel that that's the appropriate way to act. So how won't they do it to somebody outside and just feel that nobody will hold me? And you said, you talked about justice too. Justice will be served, maybe in the sitting room. We will serve it like jollof rice and put chicken on top. It's justice. Because we keep rigmaroling and not going back to the foundational problems. Okay. It's easy to when you want to fight a fire, you don't fight it from the top. You go to the base. But now we're talking about, even we know that the Nigerian judicial system is decayed, the Nigerian police has rotted, the Nigerian government itself, the federal government, at every level. So if we don't attack it, a man who feels that, well, because he was a minister, he was a minister.
So at this level, where do you think we should attack it from?
So first thing first,
we are going back to 2023, just that it's far. It's very far. When we get there, we will know how to address. But when we still get there, we will still fall inside this pit.
All right, Kike.
Watch.
You know, this is so dehumanizing. and absolutely an infringement on human rights, and it is a total disregard on the law and a blatant approach to jungle justice. So the hoteler, we don't care. I don't care who he is or who he is in the society or wherever he is at the moment, what he has done. I feel that it needs to be brought to books, and and there must be justice for taking laws into his hands and practically using his power and influence to trample on other human rights of his own employees. It's so sad, and I think there are points that I want to raise here. The first point is the fact that this is impunity that we are fighting on in our country, that anyone can just go with anything that they've done scot-free without being questioned on his or her own actions, and that is part of the challenges that we are still facing thus far in this country. We keep talking about the same thing year in, year out. When you pick up the newspapers today, you see how people in power are not ready to be accountable. This is one of it. And the second thing I want to also raise is that are there laws in our country that is binding all of us in our action, especially when it comes to all the things that we are doing today.
No, like
do you understand?
Like I said, we know there is a law. Who is serving the law? Who is making sure that the helpless gets justice? Who is that sentimental person sitting in that office that thinks that, oh, because he is my friend or she is my friend or he has done me a favor before, I should compensate at the expense of another person's rights? So the question is, Damilola, are there laws binding the relationship between the employee or employers and employee?
Yes.
Yes, there are laws.
Especially starting from individual rights and powers. In advanced countries such as UK, their Employers Act, etc.
They have a union. There is a union to employees.
We have a union that is written in the paper. When was the last time that those laws have been amended? Have we really checked? That's the question. So was there a court? Another point is that was there a court that presided on the matter after the arrest by the police people that gave in a verdict on the case? There are so many angles to this story, and those are the challenges that we are still facing year in, year out. Marshall, you and I, we all can be here today and we can call out these people, but the question is, because he has been in that power before and he's connected to quite a number of people, I feel that all these things after being said, I understand that the power of social media now is bringing a lot of people to
readdress.
But the question is, how far? Imagine many years ago, he would have done this scot-free and nothing would have been done. You know what? We'll go on a quick break and bring our guests into the studio. Okay. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Right, many thanks for staying with us. Of course, we have Seyi Awolowo in the building. I think let me know. I have energy. I've been yelling at my president. Come on, get something. Of course, thank you guys here. Sucre Papito, you know what we're talking about, is in the building. How you doing?
The only famous sugar daddy.
Well, I can find it, Goni. Why are you coming to this studio late?
Hello, you see that part?
And there's
You're telling him it's fine. I'm here and you're telling him it's fine. In my presence.
Yes, house husband. All right, guys, let's be serious. So my first question to you, because I know there's lots of discussion we want to have with you. So the creative art industry are craving a niche for themselves, and as a talent hunter and an actor, describe to us how you have carved your own niche, when it comes to what's it called, at the art industry, knowing that you studied psychology in school, right? Correct?
Yes.
So how do you crave your own niche into art and entertainment today? Leave Big Brother alone. Just go straight.
Clearly, okay. Right now, doing that is taking a huge risk. You have to be willing to swim in uncharted waters and just do things that you might not have ever done before. Okay. Creating your own niche. I'm still in the process of getting mine. I've never gotten mine yet. I've never scratched the surface. I'm not close to a ton of people that I literally have carved their own niches in their various fields. I mean, Burner has his own niche. Wizkid has his own niche. In the Nollywood industry, everybody have their own niches. Tony Abraham, Mr. Neem, Mr. Kunle, everybody have their own voice because they were able to identify what was needed, knowing their strengths and apply themselves to it. That's literally what it is. So I mean, for example, let's say how the Brother Shaggies and how the MC Livelies did it. They saw there's this niche. In less than 1 minute, I have to make people laugh to know that, and they started risking it. It was not exactly everything they did that was funny initially, but with time, they started getting it right and they started mastering their trade. So that technically is how it is.
Apologies before you go, Damilola, please. Talking about niche, have you? I'm sorry to say this. Your niche. Have you? How will I put it? I'm sorry. When it comes to an influence regarding your late grandfather, Baba Awolowo, of course, I feel that you've got an influence on that niche to your.
He's got a key to the door.
So was he, because I know that he was a leader and a visionary, of course. So how has that name impacted on the niche that you've created for yourself?
I'll be honest, it's rather difficult and complex because it's more or less in a totally different world. If I was in politics now or in that line, maybe I might have said I might have been able to attain a certain kind of niche in that field. But remember now, I'm all the way in entertainment. It's entrepreneurship and entertainment. So now, and I've been an Awolowo now, just to get one thing straight, the first thing anybody sees when you walk into the door is, Awolowo now, you have money.
Forget about it.
Exactly, not knowing that I'm here looking for my own money. I came with my own ideas for another person to facilitate it. And the only thing I take away is that if a person says no, that means God doesn't want him to have the glory in that success. So I only have to keep moving. Nobody can imagine the amount of no's I've heard, but people think every time I step into one place, yes, from reception, but wait, give it to him. If that be the case, we're not multi-billionaire overnight now. It's standard now, but it's not exactly that easy. But I would say it's a curse and a blessing. It makes me realize that I need to work hard. And sometimes some things actually just speed up just because I crossed one phase and then look at it that, okay, yes, you can live up to this, so carry on with it. So it's a bit of both. And it's just a matter of me being able to manage the emotion and feeling that comes with it. So hopefully I'll get that niche right, very soon. But in the meantime, please bear with me.
You're doing well.
But
coming into the entertainment industry, how easy is it for us to spot a talent? Because I know that Nigeria is kind of wasteful in that aspect. But you are a talent olode, or a talent hunter. You will hunt for talent. How easy is it for you to spot a talent?
Well, it's almost very easy because this day, I'm not even going to lie, that the talent's everywhere. As in, it's just standing in traffic, going for an Owambe party. You see talents almost everywhere. But the thing is the talent actually ready for it? Because sometimes you actually go up to a talent and give the talent everything that the talent needs, and then the talent will just fumble. That's when the talent knows that there's somebody in the village that is calling him his name at the middle of the night that he needs to go and, that's where you just start hearing funny, you'll start acting up and you'll be like, guy, but you actually have the means to do it. So sometimes it's a matter of the person himself, yes, the talent itself, himself or herself, realizing that they want it and, activating their willpower to go for it. Because you can take the donkey to the stream, but you can't make it drink water.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's go back.
Yeah.
Way back.
Oh, wow.
Now, we all know the Awos,
yes,
politically. Yeah. When we talk about the foundation of the political foundation of Nigeria, we'll talk about the Awos. And so when we see an offspring of the Awos, would attribute originally or naturally political inclinations with them.
Yes.
But here, we're talking about an Awo in entertainment. How did it all begin? How were you able to carve away from that political inclination?
Okay, it's the political inclination myself now. I'm still one and the same, to be honest, because that's my background. That's how I was raised. I mean, I growing up was when Sunday afternoons there's this governor, there's that ambassador, someone over at the house to come and meet my grandma, I'll have conversations with my elder ones, and I'm just there in the background listening and learning. Because I learned early that it's listening to your elders. You pick in the things you need, the right tools, exactly. So I'm always there in the background listening to them. I'm picking what I need, and I ask questions when and now. But moving into entertainment, wow, that was a whole lot of. It started with modeling, actually. I was on public transport from Olabisi Onabanjo University back to Lagos when a photographer actually, told me that I look like someone that would be good with commercials. I'm like, oh, really? And how well does he pay this, that? I was not even 18 yet at the time. I said, okay, fantastic. The minute I got home, I told everybody, I was like, why not? Try it. When you were small, we auditioned you for Cadbury. Oh, really? Fantastic. Luckily for me, I mean, God sprinkled some handsomeness for me. So yes, commercials I'll go with. I can put my face up near brands, and that's how it started. And from there, during the course of a couple of shoots, they you seems like you're a good actor. Have you tried this? You know, then the first one went, tried that again another time, and from there I just started moving into it. I'm like, okay, I think this is my own space. This is where I can attain my own Awolowo status if I push hard, because now there's nobody in front of me to say that this is the person you're emulating bone for bone and teeth for teeth. Now you are doing your own thing. I'll be able to make my own mistakes, learn from my experiences, and grow. So, I mean, it's only right I just go that way then.
Have you
Right,
in the industry?
We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be looking straight into the handsome guy in the studio right here, without your frames. Please stay with us and get a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back. Welcome back. And we love to hear from you guys. Please call the number on your screen to be part of this conversation, and the number to call is 080-988-77400. Also, you can make comments on all our social media platforms on Real Talk with Kike, and of course on our Twitter page is RealTalkWithKike. Right now we're streaming live on our YouTube page, and you can subscribe to our YouTube page, Real Talk with Kike, and also we are subscribed, and we are live also on our Facebook page as well. So Seyi, your go-do. The next question I want to ask you.
You can see Auntie Lole, your go-do.
More understand what you say.
Oh, yeah.
No, sometimes might be normal smoking war. So I'm on the clock. You didn't catch me at the right time.
In terms of creative arts, you know, Mohabudu's Ebony Place, you know, springs up businesses including filmmaking, training, entertainment, and all sorts, and a lot of niches for quite a number of people who want to study in that area, especially when it comes to entertainment. So I believe that she's adding value when it comes to entrepreneurship, and especially when it comes to arts today. So apart from finding one's craft in the arts industry, so my question is, when it comes to monetizing and management is another level for all of us right now, and I think that Mohabudu is doing wonderfully well in that. But how can we build more enterprises that adds more value to our creative acts today, especially for those who are the upcoming people who I feel that we don't have enough opportunities or alternative out there.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, hopefully we can still hope for a whole lot more Mohabudus out there to come out and do a whole lot of that. And yes, there are already a whole lot of them.
Maybe Kike is coming.
Well, we don't mind though. I mean, but you know, at the same time, we kind of have people, unlike before, we have a lot of people that are invested in this firmly. And even I think as of yesterday or today, the Lagos State government also initiated a committee, where Richard Mufere-Damijo is the head.
We have Tunde Kilani, Kule Afolayan.
And the beauty is that because I believe that they're beginning to recognize the value that they have, or what they are beginning to see that asset.
Or the revenue.
Yes, of course, the revenue. I mean, Omogeto, wow. You know, a lot of movies into Prophetess, I mean, everybody, they are beginning to make record sales at the box office. And I mean, unlike before, when it was just solely the music industry, but now the movie industry is catching up at a phenomenal rate. And trust me, it's one of those things I'm really happy about, because before, I couldn't wait for the next foreign movie to go and watch a movie at the cinema, but now I can actually go to the cinema and watch a Nigerian movie. But as long as when we come to talking about investing in it, to be honest, is also a risk, because you can take the risk of investing about 40 million naira in a project and it doesn't fly, and how do you? So that at the same time, there's still that risk, and it's something you have to be passionate about, so you can put in the energy. It's not something you're going to say you take and go and do, and you are not going to have oversight over. You have to be in it, with it, around it, for it to make sense.
With it, in it, around it, for it.
To make sense.
Because
that's exactly what, if you notice, that's exactly what Mohabudu is doing. That's exactly what our master, Mr. Tunde Kelani, is doing. They are hands deep in it. They don't just, and they build a strong team around them that see the same vision with them. So if you have more people in that light, and educating younger folk, showing them this, those younger folk at some point in time would like to also give back in that regard. For example, I, for one, haven't exactly benefited from any of those, but I kind of understand where they're going to, and I aspire to be just like them. Meaning that if I can touch at least 10 people's lives, out of that 10, give or take, on a bad day, 3 of them excel phenomenally. I'll expect those 3 to help another 3 within them.
And keep transforming.
Exactly. That's how it's just like
it becomes a ripple effect.
Exactly. That's the way it's supposed to work. That's the mindset the average Nigerian should have towards even any and every other industry. It's not a matter of because I better pass my neighbor should not be it. As far as I can make you better, you should realize that you can also make the next person better, that will make the next person better. It's just a matter of just putting that one bit in, which is what I believe that all these people that you've mentioned have already done, and more people will soon start to do as well.
Okay, let me ask you, being an actor now, do you think that, are you first of all thinking of producing your own film soon?
Of course, yes.
Anytime soon?
Yes, hopefully.
Are you working on it already?
To a certain degree, yes.
Okay, yes. Now, there's a difference between a producer and a director.
Yes.
I am opportune to be able to direct a couple of series showing currently on some other platforms. But now, we always have these things of sentiment in our industry. I'll say our industry.
Yeah.
In the sense that you are very sure as a director that this character cannot pull this role as a director. But your producer has an affiliation with that character. And sometimes when you put that person in your movie, the director is not getting what he envisioned. Do you understand? So what do you think we can do to correct those mistakes, especially on the producer's part?
First things first, know your role. You're the producer, You're paying me to be your director. Let me do me so that I can be able to defend it. If you are coming to influence on what I want to do as a director, and it goes wrong, you can't blame me anymore. The director's job is to direct to the fullest of the extent that he can. There's no point in you coming to pressure because of coming to kick sentiment out. Sentiment does not go well in business. It doesn't go well anywhere. If you bring sentiment every time, you become irrational and make decisions that will not help in the growth. So it's straight up, Mr. Producer, you are here to produce. This, I would say, highlight what they are supposed to do.
Okay.
Mr. Producer, this is your obligation.
Your line, this is
Director,
your boundary.
this is exactly, please don't cross this so that I can be able to do what you've asked me to do. So that if I don't do it well, you have the right to now punish me to the fullest of your, because that's how it's supposed to be. Okay. No sentiment. Okay. So if director should say, please, producer, can you please exit the set? It's not disrespect. Okay. He just needs his working space. Okay. There can't be two captains on one ship.
It's going to wreck. But I have another question to follow that. Okay. Now, I'm sure that you already know the sex for role. You know. Yeah. You want to talk about it? Sex for, you've heard. Yeah. You've not been involved.
I know.
Because even the women, I'm not sorry to say, it's an industry I know very well. Even the women would want to exchange sex for the men. Okay. And like, I want to put you in my multi-millionaire movie. Do you think we should still tow that route?
No. If that be the case, then we are not going to witness no new talents. We're not going to see what the world has to offer. It will just be in one circle all the way through. It will always be in a circle. It will not go past that circle. I mean, that's what exactly, it's just be like our ruling political class, right? It's just like it's just a particular set of people that are just going around. You don't want to give the next person that might have the next best thing the chance to showcase his blessings to the world. So, I mean, it should be totally scrapped.
Okay, Seyi, let's come back to you because we've been talking industry. I want to, like Kike motivated us before we went on. She said, look, she's going to suck enough juice out of you. So I want us to refocus to you.
Okay.
Big Brother. I mean, you went into the house. Some people felt, what is Atanda-owo doing in Big Brother now? The episode, or rather the season before yours, we saw a couple of people whom we felt, what is this one doing there again? And then all of a sudden, Awolowo again in Big Brother house. What are you doing? Two questions in one. Make it a bullet question. One, how did your family feel about you being in Big Brother Naija house?
Okay.
You know how it's widely perceived. And then two, you didn't win. What did that birth in you?
Okay. So the first part, my family didn't exactly go with it, to be honest, because there was the part where I'm not supposed to tell too many people about it before going in. There's some, and I just told my family member, I'm going to be gone for a couple of weeks on this. My immediate elder brother was like, no. My sister was like, no. My mom was like, no. That what kind of, I'm like, oh. Don't you people understand that I need to now go into the world and do my own thing? Now I have an opportunity to showcase myself to the world, and maximize my full potential. No. It was just one of my brothers that I told the day I was going. Alpha, I'm going for this thing. And just said, Alpha, your woman no? I said, yes. Okay, no, I'll allow the best. No go fumble. And that was it. But apart from when I got out of the house, I had the rest of my family were not exactly up for it until they saw who I was. That, okay.
So when they saw how it was turning out in the house, they were okay with
exactly,
it?
and now they now got, exactly, now turned around and they're like, okay. It's not as if I went there and I did the worst of the worst or...
Or you went to room 306 there.
Show me 306, man.
Only 306.
Wow.
Wow.
Intriguing. You know, I think Biggie S. I didn't know that was 306. Then they're coming out. I mean, for me, going in the house was actually my win because I was already on the platform. Big Brother, for me, Big Brother chose me because he already saw the prize money in me. I had the ability to generate that prize money. That's why he brought me forth to the platform. And I would like to believe while I was there, I generated that kind of revenue for Big Brother during that time. And I'm grateful that at least I got to pay, at least the money exchange one way, well, I still got to pay him back one way for that. And since I've come out of the house, I mean, everybody's wins are different. You take your wins differently. The way I take my win is how I'm using mine till date. And hopefully it's still going to work for me. Time memorial, I'll keep going with that. From now till whenever, I'll still be on my game. Winning is, like I said, the minute I walked through the door, that was the win for me. And I think I said it to them in the house at sea. For the fact that we got here, we were already winners. It's just a matter of how we turn our winnings around when we get out of the house. And I must say, I'm proud of a number of my fellow housemates, and the new ones as well, as they are also, multiplying their wins from that day.
Why did it take you so long to break away from that bash that you were receiving from you know who?
Break away. Oh, yeah. You see.
Some of us felt, this guy, you are slacking. What's happening? You were taking in too much. Didn't you feel that way at some time? You were taking in too much from her.
You see.
All right, so I know Big Brother launched you to prominence even after many brands deals.
Yeah.
Speaking about Big Brother Nigeria, since my colleague is already there, they're creating stars and big names over the years. So there's another session coming up now. So how do you think that the contestants should exploit the platform beyond making name and fame for themselves?
Know what you want to do before you go into the house, so that when you come out, you are just not left hanging. Have a plan. Fame is not everything in this life. Fame without the proper plan or security is downhill. It's literally downhill. You can be. Before I went into the house, I can say I had a little bit of fame because I was on billboards and all those things, but there was no money in my pocket. Imagine driving to a filling station. Is that the guy from that toothpaste? And everybody, toothpaste. And I can't even start saying I want to be giving everybody.
You can't do giveaway.
I cannot give away because they don't even know that one self is not even the one that was billboard was even still changed, that they paid me for that one. So fame without how to utilize it or a proper opportunity, there's no point. If you go into the house or the premise that I just want to be this kind of person, so that no, have a plan.
Do you think people come into the house with a script?
I would think so.
Okay, why do you say so?
Because sometimes when we now come out the house, you now suddenly see another side of them that you'd be like, wow, why wasn't this you back in the house? I mean, I came out the house, like I said to Diane, if this was you inside the house, Mercy wouldn't have stood a chance. Because you'd have given her all thoughts. Because she's a very confident woman, but in the house she looked as if she was timid. Yeah, but when I'm like, vulnerable. Yeah, but then I said outside there, I'm like, okay, hey.
But do you think it's not part of the characters that you were handed? Like, were you actually told how to act?
I think I've been myself all through and through.
Okay.
Through the house, this is exactly that's who I am. I'm playful when I'm playful. I'm serious when I'm serious. I'm a critical thinker at times. I like looking for solutions. I love puzzles. That's me. Okay. I can't speak on behalf of everybody else, but I'm sure that maybe that's what they saw something in me. Because when we went for the auditions, the people that auditioned, I'm sure, are seasoned professionals, and they knew what they were looking for. Because their questions there was no stuttering for the question. They asked the question. Once they hear the answer, you get the next question. It was very, very, direct.
Concise.
Exactly. So they knew what they were looking for, and they went for it.
Where are you with Tasha now?
With her? I would like to think we're friends, but we don't just talk as often as people would think. I'm not even going to lie. We hardly ever talk.
You know, that question I asked you, you know, answer.
Which one?
Why you slack?
Why I slack, say?
Because, man, they've been they bash you badly. And we expected you
but,
to, you know.
Bro,
You really liked her, didn't you?
let's not put it as I really liked her, right? You know, when you see a person that you've
He has
at
a
that point in time,
girlfriend.
thank
I
you.
was going to say
saying
that
it, we
as a
saw the
woman.
whole world saw it.
I saw. I think
kept saying
I saw a side that I felt needed a friend. Someone because from what I saw, I didn't think. I thought she was the kind of person that had been betrayed by a lot of friends, and all she just needed to do was have a good friend, not the kind of friend that wants to have sex or any, just a listening ear that she can have a
So you
conversation.
decided
with
to
the
be
person.
the friend
Okay,
almighty.
why not? Because I mean, what's
Even when
the
they
point?
kept pushing you away.
You
friend
took
me away,
because of friendship 101.
No, but you know that the minute that they crossed the line, they saw the other side, and the
you.
next thing they villainized me in the entire world that this is the kind of person I was. Not understanding that from the beginning, majority of the people
just
that
playing cool.
try to be friends with her were literally just doing it out of the genuine mindset. Okay, she can actually be a good person if you only tried. But then, at some point in time, why I just spark? What's really good? I'm not worried.
Oh, okay.
You know what, Jiraimu?
I never really watched Big Brother up until last day. I told you
Yeah.
guys, and I think that the little clips I've seen of Tasha and who she is today, I really admire her. I like what she has done thus far, and how she has been able to transform herself.
I think I would
So
like the
let's-
management team that
Team.
managed her, because immediately after the house, there were brouhahas, there were higgy-haggers flying all over the place, and she was not so bridled. Do you understand? She was saying it, but I think her management did a lot of work in taking her back to the foundation
Post
and
Big Brother.
repositioning
I agree
her.
with you, but at least from the Big Brother contestants, the people that I see today that are extremely active, she's one of the few who are very strong when
agree.
it comes to things that affect us all, when
Yeah,
it comes
she
to
speaks
calling
up.
out
She
speaks
government.
Yes, no.
Tacha
I
has been
agree.
doing it as an awesome job with that.
agree.
And of course, of comporting herself. So regardless of whoever she was in the out, at least she has been able to transform herself again,
Yes,
which is kudos to
tremendously.
her. So moving on
Nice.
from all of that,
Nice.
Yes,
I can,
please.
you know, I tell people that the pandemic year changed the entire system of doing things. So
Yes.
we saw less of movies and more of skits through social media apps like TikTok, Instagram, etc. I'm not really good with all the social media thing, but this new redefinition, how would it play for the act and for those who are going forward now, especially you who are also due to everything that is happening around us? What's your take on it?
I mean, my take is just keeping everybody on their toes.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can come out of nowhere and take your job if you're not on your A game. It is what it is. Sit upright.
Many
and
thanks
get-
to technology.
Yeah, so as in standard now, there's no slacking. There's no, I'm not worried, I'm going to shoot there next week. When you have to shoot, because there's somebody else on the road with a phone shooting. You have huge cameras and all lights and all that. There's some people that are just, the average phone that's used, the clarity is still, they are still trying to put something out there because they know what they can attain. So the need is putting us on our game, as in, there's no, we know him, he's a celebrity, come to the front of the line, oh yeah. Not at all. And I'm grateful for that because now, instead of me just sitting around, I'm thinking about, every time you think about the new next best thing you can do, what's the next best opportunity? Okay, there's this app that's coming out. Do they have this? Okay, this, that. How can it be monetized? How can it grow fast? How can I be a pioneer with it? Those are the kind of conversations that are beginning to spring up now. And it's a really good thing because, I mean, it's in its own way to help generate more funds into the industry, one way or the other.
All right, you know, listening to you, and I'm hearing how we can catch up with technology and how we all should use the tool as an advantage tool for everything that we are doing, especially when it comes to the creative arts industry, having a voice. There is a culture in the art industry, and I believe that the players in the industry can actually speak loud enough for the world to hear.
Yes.
And we've seen a lot of that during the pandemic. So my question is, how do you think the power and the voice of the players in the industry can be used to rectify our platform, our problems and all the challenges that we're having in Nigeria today, knowing that there's a new court of law now, and that is social media.
Keyboard warriors.
What's your take on it quickly?
Keyboard warriors, oh my God.
yeah, I got the Federation of Irish.
Wow.
In 1 minute.
First things first, I'll say the key players in the industry, the entertainment industry, they first need to truly have a unified voice or a unified forum or something, because sometimes you hear there's this association against this association that has this association. It doesn't seem that there's unison to start
Exactly.
with. So you see two people in the same association going after each other publicly. You know, there's no code of conduct within some of all this. It's as if a lot of they allow emotion take over, take the best. And when you're emotional about a particular thing, you can't exactly be rational. And they tend to allow emotion begin to cloud their judgments. And I think that's one thing they should actually try to manage. Because I mean, like example, sentiment is part of those things. Let me not speak up because what if I myself always benefit from these things sometimes, so let me just no, if it's bad it's bad, if it's good it's good. It's one of which your moral compass cannot be either or maybe should.
You can't dwindle.
You know, it should be one of which, because a lot of people depend on it. You know, that's why you don't see one average keyboard warrior, because he has been seeing you say a particular thing in a particular line. It's not just that is correct, whereas you don't want to acknowledge that you were wrong for something you said.
And that is what we are seeing today when it comes to Baba Ijesha. There are a lot of, divided opinions with that. You know, I wish that, just like you've said, that we all can come together and have one voice, you know.
What is bad.
Yeah, because in that case, that's a very delicate case. That's, even I myself, I'm trying to think about, see, using your moral compass is what is right, what is wrong. Why is there any need for share of blame? Why is there, you heard that word, child, man, really?
A minor?
Exactly. Sir. It's what you confess. Sir.
It's clear case.
It's clear case, right? Now, law, what's going to happen? And then you watch the law do it. Not that you now start going at yourselves about another person's case. Then you go against the channels, the judicial system, and let us see you prosecute. These are the evidences that have been entered. Now prosecute according to what you have.
So that I can curb other people from doing the same thing.
Exactly. Shine the light on that process.
All right.
All right.
But
many thanks for that. Actually, Seyi Awolowo, it's been awesome having you in the studio. Even though I wish, I'm calling you out, I wish you came in earlier, but I forgave you. I forgive you right now.
The guy was caught in Lagos web.
Yes,
so it's important for us to discuss the trending stories. I know there are a few that have caught our attention, and it's something that affects us all. And I like something that all of us can actually discuss after our main topic of the day. You know, there was a viral video that caught our attention on a lady getting strokes of the cane and stripped to naked by people who are alleged to be her father and her brothers. I don't know if you saw that video. It was gathered from the Eagle of newspaper that the lady made a sex tape that was posted online, and that's exactly what we're showing. That was that promoted the act from the supposed family members, and I think they tied them out or something. There are a lot of divided opinions on this on social media, but I think Marshall has a strong opinion on this, because when we actually debated on it on our WhatsApp group, he came from another angle. Marshall, what's your submission on this?
Okay, well, not really an opinion. I think I was just trying to make clarity. The story is making the rounds, because it was pushed out as father and brother, father and son beating their daughter, and like you just said. But I said no. Okay, so there have been a series of voice notes that have been released by this same girl, and then other people who knew her saying, look, she was a sex worker in Libya, and for her employers who had, the case was she was sent out one night and then came out without funds, and she was asked why, and she said she was with her boyfriend, and that's why she didn't make money. And so her paymasters were the ones who were meting out that treatment on her, not father and son. And it didn't really look like that. So that was my clarity. I was pushing out. That was the clarity I was pushing out, rather. Okay. But anyway, what's your opinion on how that girl was treated, whether it was an employer or her father and brother?
First things first, I don't see the beating, but beating a woman that will cause this kind of, I don't think so, you know. Yes, there are strong women in the world, but come on. I don't think it should be abused. Well, for father and son, maybe they know how they run their family. I can't exactly speak into their home or say this is how it's supposed to be. maybe they might have had a strict disciplinary system.
But even as a father and son, is it appropriate for you to strip anybody naked?
No. That's
under the guise of discipline.
No, not at all. That is the part that I do not.
Because we don't have enough time on in our hands. So let's quickly take this last story, which is the release of the 27 students of the Federal College of Forestry and Mechanization in Kaduna that said 56 days after 56 days of adoption, the bandits demanded for 500 million naira for their release. And meanwhile, the students of Greenfield University are yet to be released. And you know, there are a lot of things that is ongoing. I know one was actually released, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. I was told that the parent actually paid them. You know, what's your take on it quickly, because we really don't
I mean, it's appalling. It's right now. It's really terrible that we have to live with this much fear in our own country.
Exactly.
We are being extorted in our country. We are being maimed, murdered, and killed in our country, and then a lot of people are taking it for granted. Some people are still, wow, it's terrible. Because I can't even imagine if that was me. 56 days. What would I have been doing? What could have been going through my mind? You know what these children will be going through right now? It's going to be. I mean, it's a totally, that's a brand new budget on its own, because this thing is, because it's mental.
Yeah.
You're seeing people pointing guns at you day and night. You're sleeping out in the rain.
Some of the ladies had to go through their menstrual cycle.
Exactly, out there in the open. It's, no. Even I'm having that goose because I can't even imagine.
No, because I can imagine Grandpa gone where he is now. Looking at it, because he will feel like, it's not what I left.
Yes, as in it does not add up.
Everything your father had said many years ago is coming to pass today, and I think, you know, because we don't have enough time, I hope that the government are listening to us. I question our government in terms of security. They have made a mess of this nation. We have, you know, we keep negotiating with bandits and the insurgents, and the bandits now requesting for 500 million naira. I was told that maybe about 100 million naira was given. I don't know how true that is. Holding, you know, I just want to hold our government accountable, and the people who they constantly hold ransom with all of it. It's a shame. It's a big shame that we are in this country. It's another sector that some few people have decided to make money from it. And my final submission to the government is that who are they? That is, who are the people they are deceiving? That they don't have a hand in our insecurity challenges today. I'm asking in pain now. Are we really saying that the small number of bandits in the bushes are more powerful, equipped, or they have sophisticated arms and more intelligent than our own entire
army, navy, military, everybody?
All these things are asking, and it's so sad that till date, you know, I worry for my children, and I'm sure that those, because we are not wearing the shoes of those people who are actually going through the reason why we're still slow on it, and it's so sad that the government, I'm calling out on the government right now. I believe that you guys should all come together, both federal government and other state government should come together and be on one voice to please help these children. We've not heard anything till date when it comes to the Chipo girls, and all of us are still here sleeping inside AC, and we are asking ourselves.
And I think the thing is that it's easy for us to say, thank God it's not me.
It's sad.
Thank God it didn't happen to me.
I wish we have enough time to discuss all of this, but what a show. It's time to say goodbye. Many thanks again, Seyi Awolowo, for being in the studio. But I had a sweet time with my co-host, and of course, you know, having you in the studio today is another thing I didn't want people. It was another thing for me to be sitting next to you in the good looking boy. We subscribe. Very good looking.
You spoke my heart to the government.
All right, so we'll come your way next week. Please keep being real and bye now, guys.
Bye. Bye.